Hello there, this is Tim, back for another edition of iWake. It is Monday, August 6, 2012, and this is a special week for iWake. Not special on any really numerical reason, except for I believe this is around the show 200, which is kind of cool. But big in the fact that I'm going to be doing a little bit different of format this week and this week alone. So this week, I've got some family coming into town, coming into Hawaii, and that means that I won't be around to do shows, on Thursday and Friday and over the weekend, things like that. Basically, I want to do a little bit different of a format this week. I'm going to be going over and talking with different people about their approaches to the Mac App Store and iCloud. So what do people... are people embracing the Mac App Store? Are they embracing iCloud with documents and things like that? And that's going to be the show this week. I'm going to have 5 episodes, the first being today, with different people talking about their iCloud Mac App Store approaches. So that's what this week is all about. So with that said, today is my show. Today is a show that I'm going to be pulling together what my approach has been. So basically, that's what I'm going to be doing today. So let's just get into it. So the Mac App Store is the first topic of discussion here. So basically, I first want to just take note that since Mountain Lion hit, I've totally embraced the Mac App Store. I've gone through my entire app list, cleaned out all the extra stuff that I don't really need, and I've found apps that are in my current or my past app library and found alternatives that were available in the Mac App Store. And I've weeded the list down to about 8 apps that are not available in the App Store that I really, really still want. So I'm going to talk about those, but I'm also going to talk about what I found that's in the Mac App Store, because there's some great things in there. So first off, I've repurchased lots of apps. I've repurchased the iWork apps. I've repurchased RapidWeaver, a few others. 1Password, Elgato's Turbo 264 HD encoding software, and I've picked up some new ones along the way. So basically, the ones that aren't suitable for the Mac App Store so far have been Dropbox. And the next one, so Dropbox is kind of obvious. It kind of needs to takes over your system. And the real reason I need Dropbox more than anything else is because that's how I host the RSS feed for iWake. So until I find a solution that doesn't involve Dropbox, that needs to stick around. That may go away if they don't bring a Mac App Store version, as I'm trying to move everything to the Mac App Store. I've told Gatekeeper to not allow installations outside of the Mac App Store, and I want to live in that world because I know that's the world we're headed, and I would just want to embrace that fully. Now, I want to do this, before we get into the rest of this show today, the reason why I want to do this is because I now, with the app selection I've chosen to live with, have the ability to log into any Macintosh running Mountain Lion and basically install all of my apps within the Mac App Store and do that with documents in Cloud and iCloud. I don't even need a backup because those documents come down along with that ride. And not all apps do that, but pretty soon they will, I believe. I mean, we're getting to that point. So it's the simplicity of going up to any computer, logging in, and boom, I'm up and running. So if I bought a new Mac, I don't even need to restore from a backup. I can just go up and install my apps and I'm off and running. So that's really the reason why. I don't want to have to deal with license codes and things like that. I want everything to be available in the App Store, and if it's not there, I'm really going to think hard and long about keeping it on my Mac. That's what's up with my approach to this. So besides Dropbox, the Drobo dashboard is not in the Mac App Store. I believe that app could be if they desired it to be. App Zapper is another one that could be, and I've had to talk to the developer on this one, that he's actually working on bringing App Zapper to the App Store because there are competitors there already. So since he said that, I'm going to wait a few weeks and see, or a month, and see if it makes it there. If not, I may pick up one of his competitors because that is an app that is available in the Mac App Store, but in a different variety from a different developer, and probably not as good of an app just because App Zapper is the original. Next up is Levelator, and this is a free app that I use every day to make the audio sound better. It makes the audio level, basically. And I've contacted the developer on this one, and he's looking into what it would take to be in the Mac App Store, and I let him know I would do all that I can to help him, find the finances to get him the developer or whatever it is. So that I'm working with him, trying to make sure he can get there. The next few ones probably will never be in the Mac App Store. So we've got Phone View that lets you read your iPhone's hard drive and pull stuff and add stuff to it. A really handy application by Ecamm. Reflection is another one that allows me to iOS mirror through AirPlay to my Mac for capturing things like that. So that one will never be in the Mac App Store, I'm guessing. The final one is Bartender. That's the menu bar app that I use to consolidate my menu bar icons into a single folder type thing. Pretty cool app. So those are the, I believe, 8 apps that did not make the cut. So with that said, I was amazed how much stuff I was able to get. My basic Mac experience is pretty much all there in the Mac App Store. You've got the obvious ones like the Apple iWork suite, the iLife suite, the Final Cut Studio suite. All of that is in the Mac App Store, obviously. Those are all Apple apps, and that's one benefit of using Apple apps is they're going to be in their own App Store. And as far as replacements, I just want to talk about, before I get into all of the apps I've gone from the App Store here, I'm not going to go through the whole list, but replacement apps. So one of the things that I think everyone needs to do if they're going to do this is look at their app list, and if an app is not in the App Store, see if a replacement app is. So an app I used was Subler, which allowed me to do great metadata for movies. And I found a great replacement, a better replacement called MetaMovie. So that one was like $3, a great app, MetaMovie, metadata for your movies. VLC, not in the Mac App Store, but MPlayer X is, so I went with that. Omni Disk Sweeper, not in the Mac App Store, so you know what? I went with Daisy Disk. Colloquy, an IRC app, not in the Mac App Store. I went with Lime Chat. Audio Hijack Pro, not in the Mac App Store. I went with Piezo, a simpler app, but something that does everything I need to. And the list goes on. There are replacements for most apps that you use, and if you're willing to be a little bit flexible, you can have a great experience in the Mac App Store. I spent a fair bit of money doing this, but once you do it, you're done. You're there. And then from then on out, all your new apps are just what's in the Mac App Store. What can I get from my Mac? So besides that, I've picked up some pretty cool apps. Little Snapper for my screen grabs. Courier for uploading different videos and things. Various others. Trying to find something relevant here that would be Magic Window was an app I had for my iPad. It's now on the Mac, so I picked that one up as well. Rapid Weaver, 1Password, Text Expander I have, even though it's going away. Reader, lots of apps. Day One Journal, all these great apps that are in the Mac App Store. I now have pretty much every app that I really depend on in that store. So that's an exciting thing for me, a really exciting thing. So that's that. My approach here, I'm going to go all Mac App Store. I'm Mac App Store alone, and that's what my approach is. So with that said, let's get into the iCloud part of my approach with this life we're now headed down. So we are now headed down this life, I think, of eventually we'll be doing what I'm doing. Mac App Store alone and using iCloud for all of our synchronization. So iCloud. So I'm really embracing iCloud full in, right? I've gone through my entire hard drive, including my Dropbox, and moved things into iCloud when appropriate. So text files, images, PDFs, everything that is suitable for that, I'm doing there. I'm also now using Pages more and more for text writing because it does Pages on iOS, Pages on the Mac, and it's such a great implementation of iCloud. So I'm not only doing that, but I'm also finding which apps are the best for iCloud and moving to those. So Pages is a great app for iCloud stuff, as is the rest of the iWork suite. What else is? Day One Journal, another great iCloud-enabled app. PDF Pen Pro, another one I'm using because of its iCloud support. So what I'm finding is if it does iCloud, I'm going to be using it a lot more. Now, apps like Evernote don't use iCloud, but that doesn't matter because they have their own version of it, which kind of works for those apps. So my iCloud approach is I'm using it. I'm using as much as I can, and I'm excited by the future of iCloud and where this will take us down the future of being able to log into a Mac and there and then having all access to everything. Everything. You don't really need a backup at that point. You really don't. So that's an exciting thing. So that's my approach to the Mac App Store. The apps I've found that I still need outside of it, and the apps that I do need, my gatekeeper approach of doing Mac App Store alone. And something I should note is if it's not in the Mac App Store, I'm coloring that in my Finder as red, adding the post suffix or whatever you want to call it, parentheses NAS, non-app store. And I'm having that included in the title of these apps so I'm able to recognize instantly these are the ones that I need to replace someday down the line. And they're well in my mind that I've got these select apps, and they need to go. So that's my approach. I hope you enjoyed this first episode of this whole Mac App Store iCloud thing going on in all of our lives. And stay tuned for more shows like this. The future shows will be interview shows where I talk to different people on their approaches. I'm guessing most people will not be as full in as I am. I may be unique in that aspect. So we will see throughout this week, and hopefully I find enough to be able to talk about with this topic. So thanks for watching or listening. I will be back tomorrow, hopefully, for another interview. And stay tuned. More shows on iWakePodcast.com. And check out youtube.com/tchatten for more videos, including my Total Recall review /comparison video I did just yesterday. So thanks for watching. I'll talk to everyone again real soon.